Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the first grade concept of graphs, specifically how we can take items in up to 3 categories and put them into bar graphs or picture graphs, and we'll do it in 5 minutes or less. So we have a whole bunch of coins here on the screen. What I want to do is I want to organize them so I can count how many pennies, how many nickels, and how many quarters I have. Don't have any dimes, I just have those 3 coins. So first, I need to organize this into a tally chart because this is going to be quite confusing unless I can actually just put a number next to each of these. So we've got pennies, and then I'm just going to put a P for that. I'm going to put nickels, an N for that. Then we've got Q for quarter. And let's just use some tally marks. Remember, once you hit the 5th tally mark, that's the diagonal. So let's look at pennies. We got some coins that are kind of hidden behind things, so we'll just look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to stop right there and go 1, 2, 3, 4. That 5th one is crossed. And 6, 7. So I've got 2 more. I'm just going to go ahead and put a 7 down underneath. So I have 7 pennies. Let's look at nickels. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like I've got a 5 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like I'm even on my nickels and my quarters. 5 of each. I just happen to have 7 pennies. So now that I know how many of each coin I have, I can start building some graphs. So the first graph I want to build is a bar graph. What a bar graph does is it just shows you with a bar how many of each type you have. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to put pennies, I'm going to put nickels, and I'm going to put quarters. And the way we build a bar graph is it kind of looks like this. Each one is going to have their own bar. And then we're going to put little numbers here. And it's just going to count up 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like I need to extend my bar up there. So we're going to make that go all the way up there. And so I need to draw a bar, and I'm just going to kind of have it go into this B because I didn't put it up far enough. I'm going to draw a bar for pennies and shade it in, and you see how it goes all the way up to that 7. So I can look really quick, and I can look to see there are 7 pennies. Now for my nickels and my quarters, those were both at 5. So I'm just going to draw 2 bars like this. They're going to be the same height. And here's one nice thing about bar graphs, is when you use a bar graph, you can immediately see which one is the biggest. Even though you can look with numbers and you know that 7 is the biggest, if you want to look at it with bar graph, it's a little bit easier because you can easily tell which bar is the biggest. So we can tell that our pennies, that's the biggest amount because that bar is the tallest. It goes all the way up to 7. These other 2 bars, they just go up to 5. Now we can also do a picture graph. So a picture graph is another way to represent data, and it can go up or down, but I'm going to make this one go side to side. I'm going to do pennies, nickels, and quarters. And think about just taking your pictures and just kind of sliding them down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw little circles. And these circles are going to represent my coins. So I've got 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 7 coins. That represents my 7 pennies. I've got 5 nickels. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, let's draw a line up here so it looks a little bit neater. There we go. Now I know how far it's going to be, so I can put that out there. And you notice I try to draw the circles the same length and all lined up. So it's almost kind of like a bar graph. You can see that the pennies are the biggest because their line extends out to the side. The difference here is we're not necessarily using numbers. You still have to count how many pennies. So you'd have to count 7. You'd have to count 5 and 5 quarters. But you can still use your eyes to see, oh, pennies are the most because that line extends farther than the other 2.